Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining and welcome to the LSE IT Corner. Today, we're going to work on something a little bit different, but very essential to our project, where we want to get actually building our server to be able to do SMM directly from our web server, which is a server running on WordPress and has MySQL in the background, has Node.js, and a couple other tools are coming as we are moving forward. One of the things we have an issue with right now is, and I'm pretty sure you guys running into that as well, is SVGs. So when you use icons for your social media environment where you want to show your social media click button where you can click on it and that's where you're going to publish then your content to, you like to have something of that nature to simplify everything by saying, okay, if I'm logged in into my web server, I'm going to see now that I have my social media icons available. As you can see in the background, I have an Instagram and Pinterest already showing there. And when I click on it, it brings me up a calendar. I can schedule my post. And then depending on what I have set, either it posts right away or it posts at my schedule set. And then wherever I am on my posts within WordPress, that's the post which I'm going to post then into my social media platform. So with that being said, let's dive in. This is on an Inkscape 142, as you can see. It might be changing a little bit here and there when you do it actually in a newer version or an older version. So that's why I wanted to give you guys the information right up front. What I have here, I zoomed in a little bit. So if I zoom out, you can see I used from FreePick. And I'm going to put a link in the description for that below. They are icons. I had to change a bunch of those icons around because what I need is full-blown SVG functionality with short call functionality. We'll get into that in the second part of this video. The first part is right now overcome the challenge when you get an SVG and you're working on your SVG and you say, oh, I have all my icons here together, but oh dang, for example, the X was still the Twitter logo. So what you can do is you go onto the internet, you find that logo in black and white, and then you just copy it, save it down, and then you import it as an image. As you can see, there's an image right now, and that is our X in this case. So let's move that out of the way. We have a blank already here. So when you see here, we have a corner here, we have a corner there, and we have a third path. And so what you can do is to say, okay, I want to have a template for these three first together. I want to do all three, and I say I want to combine those. And you can say either combine or union, depending on what you do is the outcome. So if I do a combine in this case, or let's do the union first, then you might get a correct goal and you say, oh, this is already done deal. That's perfect. That's one file now, one path object, and I'm golden. Or you say, okay, this didn't work, and I'm going to do all three, select them with a shift down, right? And say path union, where was that? And that's rephrase the whole thing and do a combine, because not everything works right away. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But you want to have it down to one single object. Now, we have the situation that this single object, when we lay it over here like this, we can't just combine it because this is an image and this is a path. So we need to convert that image into a path of objects in order to make that work. So the way you can do that, what did I just click? Nothing. It's my mice. I have a special key on the side on my mice, and that one sometimes hangs when I click it by accident because it means going a web page back. I still have to figure out how to disable that. So regardless, we have here that image, and what we're going to do now is we want to convert it into a path so that we can merge together, because you can't merge an image and a path directly together into one. And quite often you're going to have some issues with that. So what you can do is you can say trace bitmap. So if you come here to path, trace bitmap, we click on it, we see what we have. Now we can adjust our threshold, what we want to have, right? And so this looks pretty good already. 0063, you can change a couple of times over, but this is pretty much what we want to have. Update preview. We have the rest of the spec list and whatnot. Everything looks clean. I don't have anything on black or white, so I'm going to say now apply and apply and done. And so now I have here an image path and I have the image. So now I can take this and move that aside. And as you can see now, I have the beauty that I copied an image over into becoming no longer an image, but there's my original, right? So when I put them side by side, they look very identical, very close, a little bit off, but for what we need in this case, it's perfect. So you can fine tune on the filter in order to make a real good one-to-one match, but we don't need it 100% correct. So here we have the path, that's perfect. Now we have the image here, also perfect. So the image we no longer need, so we can take that image and delete it. Now we have the path, and the problem is now with the path and this path that if I take that right away and put it over and say, oh crap, right? So I can't see what I have. I don't have, because as you can see, I'm moving the path object. It's transparent, so it will take the background off of it. So little easy step which I found out is just take a rectangle, make sure that the fill is white, and you go in, let's go zoom in a little bit so that we can see exactly what we're going to do here in up close. And we're going to just fill a white character over it, like so. And you can do different versions. You can do a square, you can do a free, you can do a rectangle, you can do a circle, right? So now we have that established. Now we can take this and say, okay, we know that this is what we need, right? So now we can take this and go up there and say, okay, we want to place it there where we need to have it implemented. So now we have that implemented. Now we have a white space, which is great. So that cuts in, and now we select the two. And I'll show you why you need to do that little painful step. And as you can see, I held the shift key down and selected my objects. So you see rectangle 165 and X1 as a path. They're both paths. You can now combine those via union, and then you have a oops. So now you say, okay, undo this. Let's do that again. And whoops. So we take this one and we take that one. We have the two, and then we say combine. Oops, wrong, right? So it depends on how you do the selection. Now you did again wrong. So you have to really play with it. Did I select the? Yeah, so it selects here the 165. So path and say union, same problem. So I want to get that excluded. So what I can do is to say I select this, select that, path, exclude. Now you see my result. So when you do the unions, it never really works when you try to remove something. So that's why you have to do the other method. Now you have that cut out that space. Now you can take your X as it is, and you go over and you put it into its correct place by just finding its place. And now you see it's perfectly put in place. And you can say, okay, these two, path, union, boom. Now it's one single object. There you can see it. Now I can go in and actually give it the correct name. So this is X with a hash in front, and I set it and then this object is, I should not use uppercases. That is my bad, because everything in the coding later on is all lower cases. So something my mouse is not acting the way it should be. But now we have it here, X and X, it's set correctly, it's carried over to the front. So now we have that correctly set. And when you line them all up as individual path objects, then you can go over and turn them into, and this is the second part of this video, I want to keep them short for you guys. So in the second part, we're going to go in and show how we're going to convert this over in code to be a symbol, so that we can call that symbol via the use functionality in JavaScript directly, and HTML, sorry. And then you can select out of these icons the one which is called by its name correctly, and then you can just show this, show that, show the other one. So in this case, we want to just show the Facebook, then the Pinterest, then the Instagram, then the X, LinkedIn, Spotify, I believe this one is, WhatsApp, Snapchat, True Social, YouTube itself. Sing, for everybody in Europe would know that it's a competition to LinkedIn, Dropbox, Venmo, so that you can show that. And this is an easy tutorial how to get that done, so that you get your parts together. There might be better ways, but this is what I found out works for me the best and the easiest in this particular case. If I run into color later on and I'll have to do everything with color, I'll let you guys know how to do that. You can do also things in reverse, where you just have then the letter or the object being as a path, and then overlay that of the color icon, and then you have that visible as such. But hopefully this helps. Have a blessed day, everybody, and please like and subscribe to this channel, because we're going to do a lot more, and as we progress, you will see a lot more things lining up for you guys, where you can say, oh, wait a second, I want to go through that series and rebuild this, because I don't like to pay somebody to give me a solution. I want to build my own solution, especially for YouTubers and small companies. Everything which costs eats up into your budget. This solution allows you to do everything on your own budget, meaning all you have is really your engineering time and your web server where you put everything on. Because this all runs on a small VM, which costs you like $4 or $5 a month, and you can get it for cheaper too. But I like to have a little bit of a better VM with Kamatera. Kamatera link is down below. Risk-free to see how you like it. I love it. It's a Israeli company, and they have data centers across the globe now. So you have everything from pretty much Japan to, I believe they are in Australia in 1 or 2 locations. They have multiple locations, of course, in Israel. They have in Frankfurt, Madrid, Amsterdam, London data centers, and they have data centers in North America, including Canada. So they have a good footprint around the globe, where you can do your hosting and your business out of. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Have a blessed day.